let's have another tutorial video following the fish dumplings I uploaded weeks ago. So we are going to have empanada. In English, this could also be called hand pies. And in line with that, Aussies claim to have the best meat pies, but at times I still prefer our own pies, of course. And I'm craving to try Jollibee's ube pie, but sadly there is no Jollibee chain here, just Macca's, or popularly known as McDonald's. Anyway, so much for the rant. I will be showing now how to make the dough of empanada. Come on, let's start. Sorry guys, but I have to warn you because I will just be using solely my bare hands. I'm not going to use any gloves at all, plastic or whatever you call it. So please forgive me, especially for those who are OC with sanitation. I just feel like that my dough would be better using just my bare hands. Anyway, I wash my hands many times before doing this. Plus, I was just being resourceful here. I don't have any professional kitchenwares or baking wares. I am just using what I have available at home. So if you feel like, or you can identify with me that you want to eat or make this empanada at home, but you don't have those whisks, those kinds of cookie cutter or whatever, or even rolling pin, you can do this. Just watch all throughout the video so you would know what are the materials or utensils that I use just to make this, I can say, successful empanada dough. Okay, I'll give you a list of the ingredients at the end of the video. So for now, you prepare an egg in a bowl, and afterwards you're going to have a pinch of salt for that. Then pour over the milk. Actually, I just use an ordinary powdered milk dissolved in water, but if you have fresh milk, you may do so. I don't think evap would give the same taste. I'm not sure with that. I haven't tried it yet. So to be safe, it's either just the powdered milk dissolved in water or fresh milk. Just whip it up, whisk it until it's well blended together. Set aside the egg mixture, and then let's do now the dry ingredients. As always, we need to sift the flour for that smooth mixture. As you can see, I don't have a flour sifter, so I just use my ordinary sieve. And sorry for those crowds. If you are regular in watching my videos, you always have those crowds in my background. See? Together with the flour, you put salt. So it depends on what salt you use. So the salt I am always using here in my videos are not that salty. If you are using rock salt, I think you need to pound it a bit. Or better yet, you mix it with the egg and milk mixture. So just enjoy sifting them together as it becomes like this. Mix them well using a fork, and yes, just a fork. Nothing so special, just your ordinary fork. I have just washed my hands and they are now ready for the batter. You have to put now your butter which you make sure that it is still cold and not that melted. If you don't have a butter, you may use a margarine. No problem with that. I remember a Star margarine. I used that before in the Philippines. So just make sure it's solid, it's still in blocks, not melted, and just straight from the fridge. Okay, so you start massaging the flour and butter together. Take note, I use the word massage, alright? So do not knead them together. Just massage them together. That pinch motion when you massage somebody's shoulder, probably a friend, your mom or your husband, just that soft, okay? So this is what you should achieve. It's just like breadcrumbs that you use for your breading. Just rough texture, just coarse texture, nothing so smooth, nothing so fine, and nothing so wet, of course. Moving on, you have to get your egg mixture because we're going to mix it here with our crumbs. Next is we add the vinegar, but this calls for apple cider, but I don't stock apple cider in the pantry, so I just use the ordinary white vinegar. Then you add ice cold water, but since I don't have ice cold water, I just use an ordinary water and then put it for a while in the fridge, actually in the freezer, before putting it here. Now, time for us to incorporate everything. The secret here is just an ordinary fork. Yes, do not use anything. I advise you not to use anything. If you have a lot of special baking or kitchenwares, you don't need that. You just need a fork. Just mix it using your fork. Don't knead it. Don't use your hands. Just use your fork. Till it looks like this. Now we're getting a new background. Do you hear that? Every day, every hour, every minute, I hear ambulance or police or anything. They are so quick and abrupt when it comes to responding. So I guess I just got used to that. But when I was here, when I was new here, I was really nervous every time I hear that ambulance sound. But it's just normal here. People always call ambulance for rescue. Sorry, too much for that. So how did I do that ball? Just make sure that your surface is floured, and then we're going to have the crumbs shaped in a ball. Voila, it's just that simple. You don't have to hold it for a long time because your hands are warm. You don't have to melt the butter. We have to avoid that, okay? At this point, I'm using a cling wrap for the dough because I'm going to put it in the fridge for an hour. I don't want those moist and everything to get inside our dough. So please make sure you seal it properly with cling wraps. But if you do have just a normal plastic or an ordinary plastic, just make sure you remove the air inside and it's good to go in the fridge. Alright, so before we flatten our dough, let's just make sure that our plate or a tray where you're going to put those flattened dough is well floured. So I'm going to give you another warning. I'm not going to use a rolling pin or a cookie cutter here. I don't have such things. So I'm just going to use my milk glass, my tall tumbler, and my microwavable tub, because that's the diameter that I desire to use here. So here I make sure that my table is well floured as well as my tumbler. You divide your whole dough into two so you can work in batches, and there are two ways actually, two techniques to do this. First is you have to make balls out of your dough and then you flatten it out. But I prefer the second one, which is what I'm doing. I am flattening out the whole half first, and then afterwards, after flattening it so well, desired thickness, I'm going to cut it using my tub according to my desired size. This is actually easier for me because I don't have to use my weighing scale just to make sure that each ball will turn out to be the same when I flatten them out. Whenever you feel like the dough is sticking onto your glass, just sprinkle flour and you're good to go. Please don't laugh at me when I'm using this microwavable tub, because this is the only thing I've found which is closest to the size that I like. That's how easy it is. So if I may advise, before putting the filling, roll out the flattened dough thinly, but make sure that you don't touch the center that much. Just roll out the sides of your circle. My kitchen is my playground, so I'm not satisfied with just an ordinary wrap. So these are my two favorites, and I just had fun. Now these hats are the most difficult for me, but they turned out to be so beautiful, which is really hard to resist. So I'm proud of myself. I'm pretty sure you can do this too. So thank you for watching, and I hope you learned something new today.